Licensing Committee meeting. First of all, do we have any apologies for absence or substitutions? Councillor Hughes, please.
Apologies from Councillor Towsy Hinton. I'm substituting.
Thank you. Councillor Bestwick.
Apologies from Councillor Martin Smith, and I'm the substitute.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Councillor Meads. Yes, thank you. Yes, you're right. We're just right at the beginning. On to item 2 then, which is to approve as a correct record the minutes of the meeting held on 4th November. May I have a proposer, please? Councillor Wilkinson and a seconder. Councillor Ellis. Those for. Against. Abstentions. Thank you. Thank you. Item 3 is, are there any declarations of interest? Councillor Creamer.
Just to declare as a new member that I actually haven't done the training act, so I am in attendance for the records, but I won't actually be voting. This will be more of an experience in this case.
Thank you, Councillor Creamer. Okay, moving on now to item number 4, which is a request for a variation of the street trading consent for the Arnold Market at Eagle Square, Arnold. This report will be presented by Olivia Gamble, who's the Town Centre Manager. Olivia?
Hello. I'm not aware that I had to present a report.
Oh, do you want to just tell us what the application's about?
With regards to a mobile pitch. Oh, okay, technical hitch there. With regards to the mobile pitch on Eagle Square Market that the butcher traditionally stands in at the moment, we would like to look at giving that a street licence to trade for a wheeled vehicle as a permanent thing. Currently, it doesn't have one.
Is that just for the butcher, or is that for...
No, it would be a space for a wheeled vehicle to trade. It would have to go through a booking consent form with regards to getting a trading permission on that space. Right. So just currently, our traders have to fill in a booking form. They have to supply health and safety, risk assessments, insurances, and any other relevant licenses to sell their products. They have to be open and transparent with the products that they sell, so that the market manager that retains this booking form can interrogate any duplication or cross-party business within that area of the retail footprint. Currently, if that is not a clear area to make a decision with the market manager in place, then it is taken to the property services department where the market sits under, and we have a deeper discussion with the town centre manager, the property services and the market manager to come to a decision. Again, if there is further need for clarity, we then approach legal and licensing, and the final decision is with the council.
Thank you, Olivia. Will you just bear with me a moment?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ophelia, just to clarify for members, so this is, if I'm right, this is an application to vary the consent that we currently have for Eagle Square Market?
Yes.
So the consent you have in order to run the market there, but at the moment there is a restriction with regards to wheeled vehicles being on there, is that correct?
Yes,
so
that is
this
correct.
is an application to vary that consent to allow those types of vehicles?
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Councillor Wilkinson, please.
Thank you, Chair. So just to clarify, would this be for a single pitch that could be occupied by a wheeled vehicle, or could it be more than one if they had if they'd booked correctly?
The pitch is slightly larger than a single pitch, so 2 small wheeled vehicles could go in that space. However, with regards to taking everything else into consideration, with the space between benches and walking and access to on and off Front Street at that area there, it would remain as one vehicle to sit in line with any licensing measurements that we need to withstand.
I'm slightly confused, Olivia, in that the application is for the whole lot. But
My understanding is it's for predominantly it's for the pitch that has no licensing agreement outside of the Eagle Square footprint that we own, so outside of the GBC land ownership. But legal may,
I'm going to refer to legal.
yes, have a wider stance on that.
It's not a legal issue. This is your application with regards to varying the consent. That consent, you should know which area the consent covers. And at the moment, as I understand it, it covers an area with the vehicle on, and so you want to vary it. But the application is for the whole of the consent area. If you want it just for that vehicle, then that's a slightly different application. If you want it for the whole area, which was the original instructions to licensing as I understand it, then just that needs to be clarified. That's what Councillor Wilkinson was asking, whether it's just for the vehicle that's there at the moment or whether you're asking for the variation for the entire area.
The variation is for the entire area, which will incorporate the space where the butcher stands at the moment.
That's fine, thank you.
Is that
Thank you very much.
better clarity from that? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
apologies.
great. We know
Yeah.
where we are now. Does anybody else want to speak on this? Councillor Bestwick, please.
Just a couple of clarifications, if I may. How many calendar days do you think it's going to operate? Because I noticed the guidelines at the moment are 16, so is that something that needs to be in the variation? And will you be limiting it or excluding a lot of the trades, if you like, that are listed, like live animals and that sort of thing? Will that still be in place?
That will still be in place, absolutely. With regards to the days, I will have to come back to you with an answer on that one. Currently, the butcher stands 1 day a week, but the market trades for 3 days a week, and it would be important to have that agreement in place for every trading day of the market.
It's just that in the notes it says the council will not grant permission for any trader to operate for any more than 16 days per calendar year.
Councillor
Legal
Bestwick,
again to answer this.
this is obviously you're here substituting today, which is fantastic. This consent has already been to members to be granted outside of the policy, so it's actually granted until I believe it's the end of 2026. So that is the end time. So we've all permission's already been granted to go outside of the 16 days. But you're absolutely right. The policy says 16 days. That's why it's already been. However, it's been established that because of the wheeled vehicle issue, we need to come back to ask for a variation on that consent. Thank you.
Any further questions? Councillor Hughes.
Just very briefly, I'm sure I saw it when I read through these yesterday afternoon, but I can't find it now. Is there a restriction that the wheeled vehicle will not be running the engine in order to power whatever needs to be powered? They'll be using the electricity that's provided on site?
Yes, they will be using the electricity hookup that's provided on site, or the entire vehicle will be solar powered, which we have sampled with a Kings of the Road coffee vehicle, which was totally solar driven.
Thank you. Councillor Mead.
Thank you. Yeah, has this come about because of the butcher then? You mentioned him a few times.
Yes, only because the butcher's the only one that stands there at the moment, and the coffee van has stood there a couple of times. It was actually highlighted through the coffee van attending the market,
Right.
And it brought it to light.
Okay. And if you get an influx of people wanting to bring the modified horse
Wheeled
carts and
vehicles.
God knows what, will you look at each one of those, or will they come back to this committee?
They will be taken on an individual booking basis. I would say they wouldn't return to this committee,
Right, okay. Thanks.
should we be granted this.
Councillor Nair.
Yeah, it's sort of not, I just want, I'm not sure people realise, but the Butchers has been there for 40 plus years and presumably had a licence sometime in the past. But as we've changed to Eagle Square, it's sort of dropped off the thing. So it's the same. I mean, I remember that Butchers from being a child. So we're not asking and including anything that's never been there before. Admittedly, it was on the old market before we built the AMP.
Yeah.
Just sort of adding that bit of historical context in.
Yeah, it's very important to add that in because the Butchers is much loved in Arnold, so it's protecting his trade and the residents that use him, as well as making sure that he's trading in a legal manner.
Thank you, Olivia. Anything further? Okay, we'll move to the recommendation then. So the recommendation is to approve the variation to the street trading consent granted to Gedling Borough Council for the Arnold Market on Eagle Square to depart from section 4.1 of the street trading policy to allow trading from a stationary van, cart, barrow or other vehicle. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Wilkinson, seconder. Councillor Nyok, those for. That's carried, thank you very much, with Councillor Creamer abstaining. Items I consider urgent, so we move on to item 6, which is the exclusion of the press and public. So I move that under section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the public and press be excluded from the meeting during consideration of the ensuing reports on the grounds that the reports involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 7 of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972. May I have a seconder, please? Councillor Palin, those for. That's unanimous, and Councillor Creamer abstaining. Thank you.